We all think we know the story of Snow White, right? The princess, the apple, the seven dwarfs. But what if I told you the version we all grew up with is just a pale reflection of the real story? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the chilling, dark fable it was always meant to be. You see, the oldest versions of these stories, they weren't woven with fantasy. They were woven with fear. They were warnings born from the darkest corners of our imagination. So what we're about to dive into? Yeah, this is no bedtime story. So our story begins where it should, in a kingdom perpetually shrouded in mist, inside a castle carved from black stone. And here, a queen's vanity is about to fester into something truly monstrous. For years, that magic mirror was the queen's biggest fan, right? Always telling her exactly what she wanted to hear. But then, one day, that changed. The mirror delivered a new verdict. And this wasn't just about beauty anymore. Oh no. This was a prophecy, a declaration that her time was up and a new power was rising. So, who is this queen? Well, on the outside, she's all regal beauty, a perfectly crafted mask. But underneath it all, her soul has started to rot. It's consumed by this desperate, insatiable need to be the fairest. It's not just a wish, it's a hunger that's literally eating her alive. And right here, this is where we see just how horrifying her obsession has become. The command she gives the huntsman isn't just for murder, it's for consumption. She wants to feast on her. This is so important because it shows she actually believes she could absorb Snow White's youth, devour her essence. This is the moment she crosses the line from simple vanity into a primal, cannibalistic rage. Okay, so let's turn to Snow White. The queen's order is out, and the princess begins a desperate run for her life. But escaping the cold stone of the castle isn't a path to safety. It's a path into something much, much worse. The Black Forest in this story isn't just a bunch of trees. No, it's a living, breathing, evil thing. The branches aren't just branches. They're like skeletal fingers clawing at her, tearing her dress, trying to drag her down into the dark earth.
And the sound, the whole forest is haunted. The wind doesn't just howl. It sounds like it's screaming the names of every person who ever died there. It's a terrifying chorus, reminding her that this isn't a sanctuary, it's a tomb.
The huntsman, he sees the pure horror of this place and realizes, you know what? He doesn't even need his blade. The forest will do his work for him, probably in a much slower, more agonizing way. He just leaves her. She's just traded one nightmare for another. Now this is where the story you think you know takes a sharp turn. Forget about cheerful miners singing hi-ho. In this telling, they're the Earthbound, ancient, grotesque beings cursed to live in eternal darkness. And Snow White, she isn't a welcome guest. To them, she's a white flame, a flicker of light they've captured to illuminate their work. Their protection isn't kindness, it's possession. This is her new reality. She's traded the queen's castle for a suffocating cage of soot and stone, with these silent, creepy beings as her wardens. There is no safety here, just a different, deeper kind of prison. Back in the castle, the mirror reveals that Snow White is still alive. And that's it. The queen's sanity finally shatters. She decides she has to deliver the final blow herself, and she's going to do it with an act of unbelievable cruelty.
This is the true horror of her plan. She's not trying to just kill Snow White, she wants to psychologically destroy her first. So she doesn't appear as some old woman. No, she takes the form of the one person Snow White would trust unconditionally, her own mother. She twists love into the ultimate weapon.
And just listen to the poison she whispers. She frames death not as an end, but as a peaceful release, a gift. She's selling oblivion as an act of kindness. It is the final manipulative twist of the knife before the poison even takes hold.
So she takes a bite, and the taste, there's no fairy tale magic here. It tastes of copper, like blood and cold earth. The taste of the grave, a stark, brutal end to her first life. But the story doesn't end there. It moves into this long, silent phase where Snow White becomes something else entirely. She becomes an object. The Earthbound, they don't bury her. They can't bear to lose their precious white flame. So instead, they encase her in jagged crystal. They turn her into this morbidly beautiful artifact. She's no longer a person. She's a perfect, still life tragedy put on display. The objectification is now complete.
And here comes our hero. But the prince in this version, he's no savior. He's a collector, someone who's obsessed with the beauty of death.
He doesn't see a girl who needs to be saved. He sees a perfect specimen for his gallery of sorrows.
Now this is absolutely key. Her revival is a complete accident. This story strips away all the magic. There's no true love's kiss, there's no faded romance, it's just a clumsy servant stumbling while carrying the prince's new collection. The coffin is jolted, and the piece of poisoned apple is dislodged from her throat. Her awakening is a meaningless fluke.
And this brings us to the chilling final act. Snow White is awake, but the girl who fell into that deep sleep is not the one who now stands before us. Just imagine that first gasping moment of consciousness. She doesn't wake up to a loving face, she wakes up to the cold, hard realization of what the world really is. A place full of those who want to eat you, imprison you, use you, and collect you. This is her moment of absolute bleak clarity, the moment her innocence finally shatters for good.
And in that moment, we witness her final transformation. The innocence, the hope, the kindness, all of it has been burned away. What's left is something hard, cold, and vengeful. Her heart is now made of porcelain, beautiful, unbreakable in its new purpose, but absolutely freezing to the touch.
And really, that's the central, haunting question of this entire dark fable. After being hunted, imprisoned, deceived, and collected, what is actually left of the person you once were? The story gives us a terrifying answer, that what rises from the ashes of innocence can be something far more methodical and far more formidable than the evil it replaced.
Our story ends right where it began, back in the Obsidian Castle, before the magic mirror. But Snow White returns not as a princess, but as the successor to that dark throne. She has become the new reflection in the mirror, a new queen whose reign is born not from the heat of vanity, but from a justice as cold, as silent, and as final as the falling snow.